Bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
All right. Heel Talk Radio on kaoticradio.com. I am your most excellent host, the 5-card stud, Jeff Maverick. And with me this week is...
What is it?
Oh, my God, it's colorful Cole Dawson.
Yes, usually I am colorful, and today I'm wearing a hat. My mommy made it for me, so thanks, Mommy.
It is a very nice hat, and we do have a couple of in-studio guests. They will not be talking tonight, hopefully. I'm looking at you, Violet. Motormouth Violet Dawson, and then Ottoman Empire over there. All right.
Yes, the official guest ring announcer for bar wrestling every once in a while. Autumn. They made a whole show for her.
You want to talk about overrated? Not bar wrestling, not Autumn, and not bar wrestling, but cold name dropping.
That is never overrated.
That is totally overrated. I didn't do one name drop last week. I was surprised.
I know.
I was going to do a couple of name drops last week,
just in my
your honor.
Yeah.
Never got around to it because, unfortunately, like our engineer would not have known who the fuck I was talking about, and he was one of 3 people listening. So,
well, in that case, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to my brother-in-law, the Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, and my sister, Candace LeRae. Just for you.
Actually,
oh, no.
Them two are not overrated as wrestlers. Again, what's overrated is your name dropping.
Oh, well.
Anywho, so the hits just keep on coming. We're going to go and go 10 through 6 on our top 10 most overrated. Next week, we'll finish it off with 5 through 1.
If we still are talking next week.
Oh,
because we may fight.
I know what everybody's expecting out of me. And while I am going to have a couple of shockers on there, I am not going to use this top 10 most overrated list to shit on the most overrated wrestler of all time. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to use this list to shit all over Bret Hart because, quite frankly, I mean,
you'd be a liar.
I would be. He's not overrated. Just not as good as he thinks he is. Anyway.
Well, I mean, there aren't too many wrestlers that are as good as they actually think of themselves, but, hey.
Ken Shamrock was.
Yeah, I know.
At that point in time, Ken Shamrock probably could have literally killed anybody in the WWE.
Oh, well, if you're talking about a shoot, but
yeah,
we're talking about the art of performing.
Hey, man, he's going to snap. He's going to
Your ankle.
Yeah.
I'll make your ankle hurt.
Oh, yes. He will never, ever, 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 ever be on one of my overrated lists. I absolutely love Kurt Angle. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Oh, this is going to be great.
While he is not officially on my overrated list, I do think his wrestling abilities are slightly exaggerated.
All right. Well, why don't you just go ahead and...
Oh, I don't get to finish the thought? No. He's great, but he's a great WWF-style wrestler, not a great... overall,
his
professional
TNA
wrestler
stuff was really, really good too.
Yeah, it was okay.
Much better than what he's doing for WWF right or
that's not a good spot for him. What he's doing right now,
no,
it's not.
All right, man. You want to go ahead and start it off?
Oh, I don't know.
Number 10.
I don't know.
So I could smite you down with my pitchfork tongue of doom.
Okay, I have to preface most of these by saying, I'm not saying they're bad, but I think maybe just a little bit that my number 10 is the Legion of Doom, because when you look at them and really watch their
We're gonna
matches,
fucking start right there.
you might as well have tagged the Ultimate Warrior and Sid Vicious and put them in the ring, and you would have got about the same quality of matches and intensity. But the reason never get shit on. I'm just going to be painful and fun. I'm telling you right now.
Okay,
I'm not saying they're not
here,
megastars, because they are, like the Ultimate Warrior was, but their matches don't have very much substance, is all I'm saying.
They didn't fucking need to. These were two big ass motherfuckers who were coming down at first clad in gay biker leather, which
Hey.
I would. to this day.
Anything's better than black guys dressed in hoods being drugged to the ring on chains by a dude in a cowboy hat.
Agreed.
So the gay biker leather's fine. Go ahead, Legion of Doom, do it.
Yeah. But these two guys, it was believable. They had squash matches because they were two big motherfuckers who were pissed off all the goddamn time.
And that's great for a certain period of time. And then there comes a time when we have to deliver some substance in a match. And Hawk is much better than Animal, but if they need, I don't know. Hawk had some decent work, but I don't know. They're just kind of highly regarded as the greatest of all time by a lot of people. And I just look at their matches and go, like, what did they do?
First of all, fuck your girl and the clique you claim.
My wife is probably listening. We should maybe not.
Bullshit, your wife is listening. Man, we got 4 people watching right now. I guarantee
Usually
you.
we only have 2, so our
of
audience
us.
is growing. It has doubled.
2 is us, 1 is my girlfriend, and 1 is my son. Maybe my son. I guarantee, and if that 4th one isn't my son, that 4th one is JB. Okay? Anyway, fuck you.
Whatever. Number 10, Legion of Doom. Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. Overrated.
Oh, I hate you.
Your number 10?
My notes. I got notes.
He learned.
I brought notes because I've got it. I knew that this one was going to be pretty damn controversial. So, my number 10 is Jeff Jarrett. Absolutely, positively, one of the most overrated performers in pro wrestling.
It's so amazing how you just follow the sheep, shitting on Jeff Jarrett like everyone else shit on Jeff
Let
Jarrett.
me ask you this. Do you really think he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's incredible. He's one of the best heels ever.
Bullshit, dude. He's a fucking good mid-carder, okay? But as soon as WCW and Vince Russo in particular decided, let's go ahead and we'll give him a shot with the belt, with the WCW belt, he sucked. He choked on a dick. No, dude.
No,
he was
that's
not a part of a single, other than the fucking bullshit with China, Ned wasn't a part of a single fucking meaningful angle in his entirety.
Except for when him and Raven like doubled the audience in TNA overnight. And made a viable second option after WCW died for years, and he was the champion and carried it and built it into something that was worthwhile. And then WCW killed it. No, see, Jeff Jarrett falls into the same category where Bret Hart gets this bullshit where he couldn't draw, this made-up nonsense bullshit. Everybody fucking left. They had nothing. Like, Vince Russo took all the old fucking guys off TV because he didn't want them, and all the guys who were good and coming up left. Because we talked about this when we talked about WCW. This is why he died. So they ran Jeff Jarrett out there, who was a mid-carder and on his way up, kept elevating his whole career. But they threw him out there as a main eventer all of a sudden, and there was no other card, no one for him to wrestle. He was wrestling other mid-carders on the top, Booker T and Scott Steiner, who were career tag team guys who were just starting to get a push. And he made those guys.
And don't even get me fucking started on Scott goddamn Steiner and his fucking math. Okay, credit where credit's due. TNA at that period in time was doing pretty okay. They were still never a viable second fucking option for WWE.
No, but it gave us something else to watch, at least.
If you wanted to pay $15.99 a week.
No, $9.99. I bought every single one of those goddamn weekly pay-per-views.
Fuck that noise. Like, I waited until they did ESPN at like fucking noon during the week. You know, there wasn't no goddamn way I was going to pay for fucking Jeff Jarrett's bullshit shit show.
Oh, you missed out, man. That was some of the best stuff.
No.
That was some of the best wrestling stuff. You missed out on all the Jerry Lynn, Christopher Daniels, low-key triple threat matches.
Well, low-key, I didn't miss out on any of it. I bought the DVDs and after they came out. But I wasn't about to sit there and spend $10 a week to watch wrestling.
I was, because I was going to spend $35 or $40 once a month to watch WWF's bullshit, so I might as well watch good wrestling.
Good wrestling.
Yes.
All right, fuck you. Number 10, Jeff Jarrett. Has good matches.
This is going exactly how I expected it to go.
and my third bullet point was he can't keep a company running.
Well, he is the company killer. That's correct. I will give you that. That he can't argue that.
No, not at all.
I mean, I don't blame. See, the problem is he was the guy on top.
TNA gone because he was the guy on top.
Well, TNA's not gone. Impact still surviving. But
Impact is surviving.
Yeah, it's the same company. They just changed the name. It's different on their third owners. Okay, here's the thing.
It's not even close to the same roster.
Built it to this big thing that was starting to make some ground, and then Bischoff and Hogan came in and fucking killed it. They fucking killed it. It was Bischoff and Russo. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? I know. Let's bring in Russo.
It was just Russo. We'll go with just. I won't.
Yeah, Jarrett left when it died. It started dying a painful death. He was gone.
Exactly.
He built it.
Typhoid Jarrett. Anyway, go ahead. What's your number 9?
Okay, number 9.
Number 9.
Again.
Number 9.
I know we're in Southern California, so this is like sacrilege, but I think Lucha Libre is just fucking overrated. Like, I get it. It's fun. And like, you got this, they do stuff like you can watch Lucha and steal some cool shit. I used to watch it all the time, but like specifically AAA is like the drizzling shits, man. It's so bad. Like, there's some really good Lucha, but it's few and far between. It's a bunch of old 50-year-old fat dudes that are like really past their prime for the most part. And then you get like a couple young kids. And then you get some like really great guys like Dr. Wagner, and then you produced Eddie Guerrero's and Rey Mysterio's, some really great talent, but there's a lot of bullshit on Lucha Libre.
My big thing with Lucha Libre is
you don't speak Spanish.
No, actually,
their announcers are phenomenal.
Their announcers are fucking great, dude. You want to put some passion behind a match?
No shit.
Flip on it. You want to make an okay WWE match better? Flip on the fucking Mexican commentary, because those guys could sell a goddamn match and not.
No shit.
And you don't even know what they're saying. Yeah. Well, I
know what they're saying because I'm watching, but
I've lived in Southern California all my life. I understand a hell of a lot more Spanish than what I speak.
And this could just be, again, it's a different sport altogether. But it's a different thing than American style or Japanese style. But
I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
I don't
not
get
much.
it.
Like there are some luchadors that I like. There are some luchadors that I absolutely love.
Yeah, and then there's Conan.
My thoughts exactly. Autumn just farted.
We're going with it.
We're going with it. They can't hear you, so ha ha. Okay, so anyway, I wholeheartedly. I mean, I'm not.
You don't disagree. We're not going to fight on Lucha Libre.
We're not going to fight on Lucha Libre. I'm not a big fan of it. I like what it has produced. I really do. I love the more high flying aspect, but. Dude, if you actually sit there and watch a lucha match, a straight up lucha match,
there's a lot of clusterfuck.
They don't even touch.
Well, there's some of that. Some of them are stiff as fuck. They chop the shit out of each other.
Few and far between.
There's a lot of it where the bypass and this, and they're just kind of, and it's a dance, and I don't know. It's just, for me, wrestling is best when it looks like a fight, and lucha looks like they're just dancing.
I like the masks. Yeah. I love the tradition behind.
I like the pageantry and all that shit.
But as far as matches go, yeah, I'm not huge on the lucha style. My number 9 though is yet another plopper on WCW.
Oh, good.
Goldberg.
You know, it's kind of hard for me to argue since he killed Bret Hart's career, but
Bret Hart's career aside, his first 25 televised matches were under 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, that was the gimmick.
It was. Let's go out. We'll crush a guy. He looked like a killer. He probably could knock your fucking head off if he tried.
Sure.
I mean, he's a professional football player.
I mean, except for Jericho took him down in the back when they got in a fight at WWF. But
well, it's because Goldberg doesn't know an actual fucking wrestling move.
Well, he does now. In his 50s.
MMA.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll give Goldberg. He finally had one of the most brilliant matches I've ever seen in my entire life.
Are you talking about the squash on Brock?
No, with the rematch at Mania, where they fucking just went balls to the wall for about 7 minutes. Nonstop.
They had to.
But so good. That was the makeup for that piece of shit. Which, honestly, I didn't think it was that bad when I saw it. Everyone was shitting all over it.
I went back and rewatched that match. You're talking the
one where they stood where they both were leaving and they both were they didn't do anything. They just kind of had like a 1970s wrestling match.
They pushed each other. For 7 minutes, and it was boring.
I mean, they had a 1970s style wrestling house show match. You know, where you just got heat, you looked at the crowd, you kind of yelled, you didn't really lock up and they didn't do any spots, they didn't do any moves, they just kind of did some holds and hit the finish.
My complaints about Goldberg, I would say almost even to this day, he's still green as goose shit. Like he can have passable matches. He can have really decent matches with people who can carry him. He's not a great wrestler. He's not a great performer.
No.
He is a
character. He's the ultimate warrior. Yeah, he's the ultimate warrior.
Yeah. He had an inflated record. I mean, that what was it? 176-0 by the time he got beat by Nash.
Because they included all the house shows and
the only way he could get 176-0 in that shorter period of time is if he were doing 3 house shows a fucking day. Okay.
It was about a year, probably about a year and a half build up.
But with Asuka's,
oh yeah, hers was legit.
You could go back and look at every match she had. And
they definitely inflated it, but they did count all the house shows, and they were doing 2-3 house shows a weekend. So
and the biggest one is to get him over, they had to pipe in the chant.
Well, they did part of that, but if you go back and watch the episode of Raw where he made his appearance, it was hot.
You talking about the first one?
Yeah, the first one
when he first came back.
Yeah, it was hot. The crowd wanted to see it because we thought for sure, 100%, we're getting Austin Goldberg. Like 100% for sure, but fuck Vince McMahon. We're going to talk about him later.
Oh, obviously. But my biggest bitch and complaint about Goldberg is if he was so goddamn tough, if he was the guy that walked through fucking fire on his goddamn intro, why did he need a team of security to guard him on his way out to the ring? It's not like they were
protecting the fans.
Oh, yeah. That's,
just to add to the ambience, like he was important.
If like this is one of the things that would have been cool.
Yeah. Even as a babyface, it's one of the things WCW actually did right, and all the bullshit they did. They made him seem like a legit. Because if you ever watch boxing or MMA, they've got the security there. It's not so much that he needs protection, it's that these fans are going to try to get to him because he's such a big fucking deal and he's a megastar. Like, it's one of the few things they actually did right.
What they should have done with that is open up the guardrails a little bit. Let some of the not the fans, but like have
push them together.
Yeah, have some fucking shills right there trying to touch him and have have the security do something other than just walk by him.
It's more
because if he's gonna have an entourage, then have him have a fucking entourage.
Yeah.
But he's got a goddamn security team around him. It makes him look like, I mean, he's this tough guy, but he's got to have security because any number of people can fucking attack him.
It's one of the things that was done brilliantly. I can't argue that he's not the shits. Like, he's not a good worker. He had a couple good matches with DDP, phenomenal match with DDP. That didn't make air because WCW was so fucking mismanaged that the pay-per-view cut off before the match. Oh, they're so great.
It was great.
So great. But some of the stuff he did with Christian, and again, we're talking about guys that are great work, but the stuff he did with Christian and Jericho and WWF was good. And then the last match, when he came back and he really had his heart in it and wanted to prove something, that shit with Brock at Mania was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Just intense.
What's your number 8?
Number 8. One of the things that just universally gets put over all the time, talk about how great the wrestling fans are. And I think that is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. The fans are what's killing the business right now. They're ruining it. They ruin everything. Like, how fucked up a piece of shit do you have to be to go to a little kid show and boo their fucking hero in their face and confuse a 7 and 8 year old like they're wrong? Why are you booing John Cena? Why are you booing Rey Mysterio? Why are you booing Roman Reigns? If you don't fucking like them, don't say anything. You guys are only encouraging this bullshit. You are ruining the fucking business. If you don't like Roman Reigns, get up out of your fucking seat and leave. Don't give him the biggest reaction of the night and show Vince McMahon that he's the only fucking thing on the show you actually genuinely care about, and make him go, I have to put this guy on everything all the time. If you don't like him, leave. Be silent. Don't make the loudest reaction of the fucking night. Off my soapbox. Go ahead. Wrestling fans suck. Fuck you. Go ahead.
I don't know why you say fuck you to me. Why do they?
I said go ahead. I'm saying fuck you to the wrestling fans that think they're so great.
Yeah, I would have to say I can't stand Smarks.
Yeah. They're the worst, right?
They really are.
But these are the guys who go and wait in line to get their fucking tickets first.
Actually, Smarks aren't so bad because
it's the internet smarks. It's not the people that are actually smart to the business and appreciate it. It's the people that think they are.
My biggest bitch and complaint. I got a lot of bitching complaints. I do a lot of bitching and complaining
Because we're wrestling fans?
Yes, because we're wrestling fans.
We're part of the problem.
We are. Are the fans that, like, especially at indie shows, these fans that think they're friends.
Yeah.
They're not your friends. I mean,
they're nice to you because they want you to keep spending your money.
Exactly.
But genuinely, wrestlers appreciate the fans. But I'm just saying, you guys are killing the business.
Totally. But these guys that are like, they're on the internet, they're talking to their favorite indie wrestler like they're buddies and shit, and it's kind of irritating because no, they're not your buddy. You can, or perfect case in point is like a Mark trying to they'll tag like a fucking promoter,
anybody.
Hey, you should book this guy, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm sure if that guy wanted to be booked by that promoter, that guy would go ahead and he'd be like, hey, let's say, hey, Bart, here's some of my shit.
See, I have a problem with that kind of frame of mindset too, where you I get it when you're like, a nobody like me. If I want to go get on shows, I need to do that. But if you're somebody that fucking matters, like, I get so tired of people that are like, oh no, you got to get out there and put your name out there and like fucking kiss promoters' asses and send them videos and shit. Like, no, fuck you. Like, I'm a professional. They need to call me and book me. Like, I shouldn't have to be begging for spots. And that's fine. I mean, if you really want to make it in the business when you're a greenhorn, that's what you got to do. You got to set up the ring. You got to do all that bullshit. You got to work for nothing. Sometimes, and I did this, you have to let them use your own personal ring to save the show and not get paid for the ring rental just to get on a card. And I get that. But, like, once you're somebody that matters, then, yeah, you should have fans. Fans should be like, I want to see this guy. And promoters should listen and spend some goddamn money and pay your fucking boys.
No, y'all motherfuckers. Don't you know exposure is payment? You're getting paid with exposure.
Only if your initials are DM.
And that doesn't mean direct message.
Oh, fuck DM.
All right, so my number 8.
No fucks given is back.
Fuck fans. Which is actually the tagline of a really cool up-and-coming promotion up north.
Sweet.
Hood Slam, fuck the fans.
Nice.
I love it. Broseph Joe Brody. That's his one and only name drop until he actually gets on the goddamn show.
Right.
All right, so my number 8, we've actually already mentioned him, and this is how overrated he is. He believes he is single-handedly the one and only sole creator of the biggest boom period in professional wrestling history. Bro, you know who I'm talking about, bro.
The drizzling shits.
Fuck you, Vince. Goddamn motherfucking Russo.
Yes.
Goddamn.
FVR.
I hate him. I can't stand Vince
I've
Russo.
never liked anything he's ever done.
I know in fact, I can almost imagine one of your top 5 is probably the Attitude Era.
Maybe.
I would.
I will say this. I watched the episode of Monday Night Raw yesterday, actually, where Mick Foley won the WWF title for the first time from The Rock.
Wonder where you got the idea to do that.
I don't know. I said just something I wrestled with. What should I watch? And then, but I watched.
You know who I think was producing that at that time? No, go ahead.
Yes, I know who was writing the show, and that's why I'm talking about it. But dude, the Austin pop when Austin comes out in the main event is fucking otherworldly.
Probably the biggest pop in wrestling history.
Like I don't really care for Attitude Era. Like, because this is the thing. You watch that show, right? Just you go back and watch it. It's 100 times better than the bullshit they march out on Monday Night Raw right now, because right now nothing means anything. And every part of that show, on the good side, there was a story for everything. They had a theme throughout the night. It was Mick Foley versus Vince McMahon from the second the show started until they went off the air for 2 hours. They built this story up, and they did some really cool spots all the way to the finish. And we ended in a great celebration. The fans lose their shit. I mean, literally 15,000 people jumped to their feet and threw their hands up in the air when the glass breaks. Insane. Mick Foley wins the title. Absolutely insane. But the rest of the show, there's like 6 matches. None of them have a fucking finish except for the main event. And even that's bullshit because it's Austin hits Rock with a chair and pulls Mick on him. Every match was either a fucked finish or just no finish at all. It just summed up the Attitude Era and why I didn't like it all right there, because it just no finish, just bullshit, clusterfuck. That's 8,000 people in the ring.
My number 2 bullet point about Vince Russo is fucking Crash TV.
Yeah, it sucks.
Crash TV is a fucking goddamn bullshit phrase that Vince Russo coined. Basically means let's throw some shit up against the wall and see what sticks.
And it's great in doses. But see, the problem was it wasn't even let's throw shit up against the wall and see what sticks. It's like let's just throw a bunch of shit at him and be random and totally try to surprise them every fucking minute of every show.
We got
no arrow, no north arrow. We're not going anywhere with this. We're just doing shit randomly tonight. Whatever. We're just gonna throw darts at a fucking.
You know what it really reminds me of is anytime that you would watch a Bugs Bunny cartoon and he was traveling anywhere.
Yeah.
The fucking map. You know, it would always show the map and it would show the line of where he was going. It was like always up here, and then he made a right at Albuquerque, and then and it would always be this just fucking mishmash.
Yeah, and there was never a straight line.
That was Vince Russo's fucking booking style.
But at least Bugs Bunny had a destination.
and I don't know why the fuck he thought on a pole matches were great.
Maybe he just had an affinity with poles. And women with plastic titties. I don't know. Those things seem to go hand in hand with Vince Russo.
So he's a fan of strippers.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. You know what? You need to go back and look and see if Judy Bagwell had some plastic fun bags.
I don't know.
Because that would be funny.
I don't want to go back.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't want to watch that shit.
You want to.
I will say,
Bagwell matches,
I watched
man.
some great WCW shit. Tank Abbott versus Big Al. If you have not seen this, you must go see
Who
it.
the fuck is Big Al?
Exactly. But they were having, it was like a cut on a pole, like, you know, your biker cut was on a pole. And so they did the spot. Tank Abbott thought for the finish, he was just going to pick this guy up on his back, climb the fucking ropes, and grab it with him on his shoulders for some reason. Well, they get up to the top. Exactly what you think would happen if you're trying to carry a guy on your back, not holding on to him because you're holding the pole. This motherfucker falls off his shoulders, off the top rope to the fucking floor, and hits the steps on the way down. And it's the best thing you've ever seen.
All right, I am so going to put that in the Google machine later.
It's great. And then at the end of this match, Tank Abbott gets a knife out and holds it to this guy's throat on the outside, and they cut away from it. And Skewbone tries to cover it. The heel, and there's like, no, it's a fucking knife. Great, guys.
All right, third bullet point on Vince Russo is that he is literally like if you want to kill a promotion, have Vince Russo for it. The
problem is Vince Russo really likes Jeff Jarrett, so like Jeff Jarrett gets blame for Vince Russo's bullshit. Even though Jeff Jarrett is great.
That was one of my bullet points for Jeff Jarrett was he only won the title because he was buddies with Vince Russo.
Yeah.
And Vince Russo had
his dad was the promoter.
Yeah. So, yeah.
See, that's why people don't like Jeff Jarrett, just because of the nepotism. Like, they just like...
Dude, Jeff Jarrett was only over because Jeff Jarrett's daddy said he was over, or Vince Russo said he was over. He got over for no other reason than that. But anyway, we're not even fucking talking about Jeff Jarrett anymore. Fuck Jeff Jarrett.
No.
And his goddamn his 1980s fucking stripper.
Yeah, that was
shit.
pretty stupid. I don't know what that was.
So yes, the Vince Russo is the death knell for WCW, and he was the start of the decline for TNA. Yeah. Like, as soon as they had him
they were just growing and growing and growing, and then Russo and Bischoff and Hogan went in there.
Bischoff had no fucking power in TNA. I don't know why you keep bringing up Bischoff and Hogan.
Because they were the one, they went over
They were talent.
The show. Yeah,
they were talent.
Hogan's never talent.
83 weeks, bro.
Yeah, I listened to it. He's full of shit. They went in there and we're fucking the idea guys, and we're booking the shit.
Number 7.
I'll trust Bruce Pritchard over 83 weeks. Eric Bischoff's full of shit 90% of the time.
Man, I have a feeling that so is Bruce Pritchard.
No.
All right, number 7.
Vince, he's only full of shit when he's defending Vince McMahon and the bullshit they booked.
Number 7.
Oh, WCW.
In general.
He gets a lot of love, and I appreciate what it did for the cruiserweights and the smaller wrestlers in the business, because they only exist. Like, I think ECW was going to take care of that anyway, and I think Brett and Sean had a lot to do with that. But like,
ECW was already taking care of it. Where do you think Bischoff got the idea from?
WCW put it on a national stage.
Yeah,
ECW you could get at 2 a.m. on local television if you were lucky in your area.
Southern California, the only place I could get ECW television, it was America One Network or some shit like that. And the only place you could get it was in Big Bear.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the extra antenna reception up high.
Exactly. So I got to watch ECW anytime we went up to Big Bear for the weekend.
I will just say this. WCW was so uninteresting to me as a child. when my hero in life, Bret Hart, left WWF and went to WCW, I didn't watch one fucking episode because it was WCW and I didn't give a shit. It was so uninteresting and boring at the time.
Honestly, if you go back and watch anything of Bret's from WCW, it's all like that. It's all uninteresting.
The
Like
stuff he did with the matches he had with Flair were pretty good, and the match with Benoit was incredible. But other than that, and then the angle they shot.
You said his name.
The angle they shot with Goldberg, where Goldberg speared him, and he did the Marty McFly / Clint Eastwood spot, and Goldberg knocked himself out, was a great spot in Toronto. Huge crowd reaction, and they did absolutely nothing to follow up on it because WCW was like a ship without a sail, baby.
It's because they kicked him in the fucking head.
Well, but that didn't happen right away. It happened later on. There was no follow up, and then they're like, "Oh, you guys are going to wrestle now." With no build up after that brilliant angle.
When I forgot that Bret was there as long as he was, because to me,
about a year and a half.
To me, Bret was there for. I remember the Goldberg shit.
Yeah,
like everybody keeps talking about this match that he refereed. I didn't remember that.
Right.
Did not remember him being a referee for that first match.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember the Goldberg shit. I remember more him getting kicked in the fucking head by Goldberg.
The problem with Bret's WCW run was they didn't have anything.
Man, let me finish a fucking thought. God damn.
No, never.
God damn. Just like listening to yourself fucking talk.
I do.
Anyway, and then I remember him being a part of that fucking, what was it, NWO 2000 or Millennium or whatever.
I know he ended up in
the NWO Black and Silver bullshit.
Yeah, something.
So, yeah, I mean, Bret Hart's fucking run in WCW was forgettable.
Like non-existent, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought in this guy, and it could have been the biggest deal ever. They could have made a huge deal out of it. And they just he was just an afterthought.
Yeah.
I know Bischoff always tries to claim, oh, no, he was going to be the star of Thunder. He was going to be my guy and carry Thunder. But they didn't ever do anything with him.
No, they didn't.
And then they just, like, every other month he was a heel or a baby face, and they flip-flop just to, like, well, we don't have anything else for you to do, so go heel so you can wrestle Flair. Oh, you need to turn babyface so you can wrestle Savage this month. Like, just nothing made sense.
Yeah.
There was no idea. They had no idea what to do with him.
And see, you would like to blame a lot of that on Vince Russo because you would think, there's a bunch of fucking bullshit going on.
That was kind of before Russo.
It was well before Russo. I mean,
this
WCW's shitty booking, I would have to throw about 50% of that onto Kevin Sullivan. I would throw a lot of that onto Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair and Kevin Nash.
The problem, I think, really honestly, the biggest problem with Bret coming over was that Hogan could do whatever he wanted. And if Hogan didn't see big money with Bret, which he obviously didn't, it just wasn't going to happen. Well, he'd rather bring back the Ultimate Warrior.
Honestly, but would you really want to watch a Bret Hart Hulk Hogan match?
Yes.
Why?
Because Hogan is a million times better than you think he is.
There's going to be 8 moves in the entire fucking match.
No, it would have been great.
8 moves.
No, it would have been great because Bret's
5 moves of doom combined with Hogan's 3 moves that he has: the punch, the big boot, and the leg drop.
But Bret's heat and taking out the leg and building there, like he would have broken down the table, worked the body part, would have told a damn good story because that's what Bret does. And then Hogan would have had his big comeback, and they would have had some clusterfuck with Bret winning the title. It would have been great.
Number one, Hogan would never drop the title to Bret.
Yeah, because why not? It's stupid. That's like, no, get it back from him. But if you'd have brought him in right after the screw job and rushed him right to the top with Hogan, it would have drawn money, and it might have tipped the fucking ratings a little bit. Because the WWF fans would have been like, "Oh, I want to see what they're doing," but they didn't capitalize. They left Bret off TV for months, and then had him as a special guest referee. Woohoo! Fuck, WCW was so bad, so bad. There was 2 good years of NWA, and then there was a bunch of really bad shit, which is why NWA went out of business. And then WCW was really bad until '96, and then they had a 2-year run, and it was really fucking bad after that. Some of the worst shit ever in the history of the world. Not quite as bad as maybe a local television type promotion, but still pretty close.
Damn, dude. You just want to shit all over him tonight, don't you?
No.
Yeah, you do. It's like diarrhea on him tonight.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so your number 7 is
WCW. Fuck WCW.
Oh.
Now the problem I do have with Vince McMahon, on the other hand, he also was so let his fucking ego get in the way of having an opportunity to do something with WCW and any of the stars that came over from WCW. Because let's just say, I don't know, fucking Sting or Goldberg or any of them that came over, first thing they did was a job to fucking Triple H or someone else. Fuck you. Why the fuck is Sting wrestling Triple H? 1. And 2, why the fuck is he doing the job for Triple fucking H in his first match in the WWF? Like, eat a dick, Vince McMahon. Swallow your pride. This guy's a fucking megastar. You had nothing to do with it. Put him over and get some actual run out of him instead of just making sure we bury. Nope, we beat him. Fuck WCW. Ha ha ha. Pal. Fuck, God damn it. Worse than WCW booking.
Are you done?
Yes.
All right.
Maybe.
All right. So my number 7. Now that you're done with your WWE,
I hope it's something we can fucking fight about. I'm fired up tonight.
It probably wouldn't. It's probably not going to.
You're probably like, yes, I agree.
I really wish it was something that we were going to disagree on.
Well, whatever it is, I'm going to disagree. Go ahead.
My number 7 most overrated thing in wrestling history is gimmick matches.
Fuck you. Yeah, I agree 100%. Oh my God, so bad. Oh,
dude, okay,
gimmick
so
matches. I'm just rolling with the Vince Russo theme.
This is my top 10 reasons why I fucking hate Vince Russo. No.
Jeff Jarrett, gimmick matches, anything on a pole.
All right, so gimmick matches. Not all gimmick matches are bad. Like, I like a good gimmick match when it serves a purpose.
Yes.
And I'm talking a good gimmick, not a shitty gimmick, not an on-the-pole match.
Yeah, ladder matches are great when they're done right.
When they're done right. A cage match is great when done right.
Yeah, when it's at the end of a long feud and we need something to blow it off.
Hair versus hair match.
Great.
Mask versus mask match.
Yeah.
They're all great when done right. When they're a blow off to a big feud. And I'm talking a good feud too.
Yeah.
Not some bullshit fucking Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus fucking the Shark. None of that.
Yeah, but
that's not going to get a gimmick match. Case in point, the fucking Punjabi prison match. All right.
But okay. In the defense of this match,
no. Don't you can't
just
defend
before
it.
you. Go ahead. You do it, and I'll give you the small defense.
Okay, so not only is it a gimmick match, like it's not even a good one with a fucking good premise. The first gimmick,
Or that makes sense.
it made absolutely no
I
sense.
have no idea what the object of the match is still to this day.
Every minute or so, one of the fucking doors is going to close, and if all 4 doors close, then you have to escape it. But it's a bamboo cage inside of a bamboo cage, and you got to escape both cages. Number 1, they made this match for the Great Khali. He wasn't in the fucking match. I don't think he's ever been in.
I thought he was in the first one with Taker.
Not. No, because he wasn't cleared to fucking wrestle. I had to go back and look this up. Big Show ended up wrestling.
Okay.
So now
it's indefensible, but still, they promised it, so they had to deliver something.
They had to deliver something,
Keep going.
right? They had built this fucking structure out of fake bamboo. Like, okay, not only is it a gimmick match, but it looks like a fucking gimmick. Like, it looks like shit. At least with Big Blue, the fucking the badass cage from when we were kids, the WWE used to use. That thing had big fucking steel goddamn pipes on it. That thing looked like it hurt like a son of a bitch as soon as you hit it. Because it did.
Yeah.
It was steel. I mean, hell, even the chain link fence thing that they use nowadays,
Yeah, because it's a real chain link fence.
It's a real chain link fence.
Yeah, the gimmick that I have a problem with right now is the elimination.
I was just going to say.
Because they changed everything to plastic and you can hear it every time they hit it.
Anytime they hit it, you hear clack, clack, clack instead of ching, ching, ching. You know, I was actually going to bring that up because even that gimmick, like, I loved it. The first one,
it's a cool premise.
First couple of them were really cool, even if they didn't work out according to plan.
Yeah, the matches didn't go great, but the idea is good, and I still like the idea.
Yeah. But once you start having tag team elimination chamber, that was the drizzling shits. You got two guys waiting around inside one pod,
holding hands,
like almost literally in the primetime players, you know. Had to. Come on.
Offensive.
Your hat is offensive. But it's not because I love your mom.
No, but in defense of the Punjabi prison match, think about why they made the match. Because Great Khali was the absolute drizzling shits.
Bro.
And so they needed something.
Get out of my top 5.
I don't think anybody thinks he's good or says he's good or rates him at all.
When he first came in, they did it. When he first came in.
When Roman Reigns first came in, all the fucking smart marks jerked off to his shit too. And I sat here and told him all he's the shits guys, like, don't do it. Stop cheering.
He was fun to watch for a minute.
Yeah, when he was the hot tag guy.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's good for. Because he's green as goose shit.
But the on a pole matches, hate them. I don't think I've ever liked an on a pole match. Pepper on a pole match.
Oh God. You go to the worst gimmick.
Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, you want to go the absolute worst fucking gimmick match of all time has got to be the Kennel of Hell. Or
oh God. Oh,
couple
the dog
of
shit all over the outside.
Pictures, taking shits all over the outside.
Trying to hump each other.
Not trying to, successfully humping each other. Like, I think you got to see Red Rocket a couple of times on that pay-per-view. Like, and it wasn't even a blow-off to a great feud. Like, no, it was a side feud. It was a fun feud. I really liked the feud between Al Snow and Big Boss Man.
You're eating your dog.
And I also like the feud between freaking Boss Man and Big Show. Like, I like
your daddy's dead. Your daddy's dead.
Exactly. You wanted a fucking asshole heel in the 90s, like the later part of the Attitude Era. Fuck yeah. Let's throw Boss Man in there. He's going to be the biggest douchebag from Cobb County, Georgia you could ever get.
Some of the worst shit ever.
It was, but it was so good.
Oh, but you look back at it and you're like, oh, and you just laugh because you're like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
They put that on TV.
Big Show riding his daddy's coffin.
Someone wrote it on paper and then said it to someone else out loud, and they said, yeah, I like it, pal. Let's do it.
And chocolate titties.
I just don't. Oh,
it's horrible.
God.
It's absolutely the drizzling shits. Other gimmick matches, it's another one that's in my top 5, but I'm gonna go ahead and touch on it now.
Yeah.
Death matches. Like I like, you want to talk an overrated gimmick match? Death matches.
Yep. I mean, just hardcore wrestling in general.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like anything else. It's just once you oversaturated the market with it, it became the drizzling shit.
The death of hardcore wrestling came with the 24/7 rule.
Like, I think if they would take like 3 years off from doing any kind of gimmick matches, and then they like reintroduced them like when they mattered and it was appropriate, it would be great. Like, the reason to me that the first real official, like, everyone remembers it ladder match got over was because there was a fucking reason to hang the belts. Like, Shawn had a belt, Razor had a belt. They were arguing over who the real champion was. They said, you know what? We're going to hang them both above the ring, climb the fucking ladder and grab them. Like, it made sense. It was great. But like, if they would just take like 3 years off from Money in the Bank and cage matches and everything and only use them when it mattered, it would, like, people would really appreciate it again.
And like a cage match, the original premise behind a cage match was you had two guys that just, one of them wanted to beat the ever-loving piss out of the other one, and the other one kept running away. The cage was a way to keep both motherfuckers inside. There's
Yeah.
no stupid ass escape rule.
And also keep like like NWA, keep the Four Horsemen out.
yeah, or the Freebirds,
Yeah.
or any number
Freddie
of
Blassie, whoever, yeah.
Yeah,
Keep the outside interference out.
keep the two
heel
guys
can't
in.
run away.
Yeah, but when they started doing the over the top,
Yeah. But the reason they did that was because in the earlier days of the business, in the 60s, 70s, 80s even, you didn't do jobs. So it was a way, like, so they'd put the Sheik, they bring the Sheik in to wrestle Bruno or whoever to wrestle Bruno. And then this way, this guy didn't have to take a pin. He didn't have to actually lose a match. He could just get knocked down, and then Bruno could walk out the door, and all was fine. Yeah. He didn't really get beat by Bruno, so he didn't look weak. Bruno just kind of, threw him against the cage and then walked out the door. Okay, whatever. So you could still, like, get your heat back. Oh, the fucking politics, man.
Yeah. Well,
But see, now we've gone too far to the other side where everyone does jobs all the fucking time, and so nobody cares about anything. Like,
dude, like a guy like Kurt Hawkins, who legit is a fun wrestler to watch.
Yeah. He's never going to get over again.
Never.
Like, he's
Like
done. He's
ever.
Barry Horowitz. He's done. He's like just a guy. He's
Zack Ryder,
never going to get over. Yeah.
Same way. Like Zack Ryder, what's fucked up about him is that Zack Ryder gets himself over.
Yeah. They had one opportunity with him when he legit got over doing the internet gimmick.
Yeah.
And if they would have pushed him, he legit could have been a star.
Yeah.
But they just squandered it over and over again. And he's like, you can't get him over now.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
the best example of you can't get over once you've been a jobber forever is why can't I think of his name? The Indian dude, WWE champion. Yeah, Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. Who gives a shit? This guy literally just got beat by a football player at WrestleMania. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
He
that
got beat up by Gronk.
that came out of nowhere.
Right?
Like nowhere. It was like
This guy's a jobber for 10 years, and then he's the world champion tonight.
wow. We must need to go and have some pay-per-views in India.
Yeah, that's
We must need
exactly
to grow
pretty
our
much
Indian
it.
market.
But then
from a
why
guy
would
who
you
was
make him
born
a
and raised
shit
in, like,
heel?
Detroit.
But why would you make him a total shit heel then if you want to grow your Indian market? Why don't you make him a hero?
Because he's still a foreigner, damn it. Oh, you can't have a face foreigner. It's always a heel.
We got a little too into it. We're running out of time, my friend. I just realized.
Got 10 minutes. What is your number 6? Oh, your
number 6.
Okay,
now
real
see,
quick.
this is great because
Real quick
it's a callback from your most underrated. So go ahead.
But real quick, before you shit on it, our market research says that they want to hear more about this particular
Well, good, and I'd be
subject.
glad to talk about it. I don't think it sucks. I love it. Okay, let me start this by saying I absolutely love. I love it. It gave my sister a very good living for a couple years, but I think that independent wrestling is overrated. It is overrated. 99% of independent wrestling is the absolute drizzling shits. And then a lot of that's because it's just guys learning how to do shit. But most of it is really awful. Really, really awful. And the reason I hate independent wrestling, not because it's not fun and good and that there's no merit to it, but there's a lot of the smaller independent wrestling promotions, like maybe some of the local ones, they have these guys that have been at that independent wrestling promotion for 20 fucking years because they couldn't get over. They're not any good. They never got their names out there, never did anything.
Names.
And they're telling people, no, this is how the business works. This is what you got to do. And I'm a veteran. You need to listen to me, bullshit. And like, motherfucker, you are nobody. You are nobody. No.
Names.
Not doing that.
Names.
You can name names if you want. You can name names. But there's a lot of guys, like, say, B-Boy, who went to the East Coast, went all over the world, wrestled, and did a lot, and came back, and now are giving back to the local promotions and the local talent, and they're training them and teaching them the right way. Joey Chaos, another one, who went out, actually made a name for himself, got over, did accomplish something in the business.
Yep.
But there's some other guys, and maybe not the promoter, because there's a very prominent promoter out here we all know.
Name.
Jesse Hernandez, who did get over and went all over the world, wrestled everywhere, and made a name for himself, and knew everyone in the business.
Still does.
Yeah. And he did a great job running a promotion, whatever, but there's some guys maybe underneath him who think their shit doesn't stink, and they're nobody. They don't matter. They've never mattered. They're never going to matter.
Talking about the white boy under a hood?
I don't know.
White boy under a hood?
But it's just there's a lot of guys like that. I got into a Facebook argument recently with one of these guys who's nobody. You look, it's like, oh no, I'm a real veteran, and you look at his Facebook page and look at all the promotions he's wrestled for, and you never heard of any of them because he's just been a local Arizona guy his whole fucking life. And he doesn't matter, and he's nobody of importance. I don't even know his name. I don't even know the guy, but he's nobody. And he's just shitting all over independent wrestling and all these guys trying to get over. And it's like, it's so stupid. Like, you're nobody. Like, you don't need to do springboard 450s to the floor because the guy got hurt doing a springboard 450. Ate shit.
It happens.
You don't need to be doing that shit. I'm like, okay, I just watched Charlotte Flair do the weakest rolling senton off the top through a table ever, and nobody popped and nobody cared. So you have to do something. Yeah. You can't do less than what the last guy did if you're going to do it. You have to. But it's these guys that have never gotten over, never done anything, never been anywhere, and think they're the shit. And so that's what I hate about indie wrestling. So yeah, I think it's overrated.
Oh, so it's not the droves and droves and droves of Spot Fest and get my shit in?
No, that shit sucks too. That shit sucks too. I have this great idea for a gimmick. I'm not going to pitch it right now, but a great idea that may be inspired by Jim Cornette.
So listen, next week when my top 5 is just Jim Cornette.
Oh, good for you.
Super overrated. No. All right. So since we've only got about 4 minutes, my number 6 most overrated thing in wrestling history is NW motherfucking O.
Oh, good call.
Oh my God, is the NWO the fucking most overrated thing in history?
And I think we just had our first crossover of the night.
Nice.
So we can talk about this more next week too.
Okay. So I'm going with the NWO because straight up, like,
oh yeah,
in the beginning it was great.
Yeah.
The first 2 guys, the fucking outsiders come in. That's awesome.
Brilliant. One of the best angles ever.
Who the fuck is the third guy? Awesome. Let's turn heel Hogan, have him drop a fucking leg on Macho Man. Absolutely genius.
And the crowd right in the palm of their hand.
Right.
Instantly turned on Hogan. Instant.
Now, they could have been great that was the NWO. Just those 3 guys.
Even if they added some guys would have been okay.
I would say 2 more. You add maybe
because the way they added Henning was brilliant also.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. If you add like a Henning
and Rude and
Rude, because Rude would come in as the manager mouthpiece, or even Ted DiBiase would have been cool in that role too. That would have been great. Just leave it there.
Yeah. Another thing that would have been
even have Bischoff come in.
Oh yeah,
not at that point, but show him as the money man, the backer.
Yeah.
Instead of $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Yeah. Now, then when you start adding guys in like Horace Boulder, or Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray was actually probably a good addition.
I mean, it's fine. Well, if I was going to add him, I would have had him full turn on Booker and like beat the fuck out of him.
Or Scott Norton, who in his own right is a great wrestler, but not like fucking NWO shit.
But I had no problem with them adding people. The problem is they just never got anyone over. They never did any jobs. They never looked vulnerable.
They had 20-something guys in the ring at one time. You can't even get all the guys on the fucking camera.
Yeah.
So it blowing up out of proportion. Virgil. Like, why do you
That's all we need to say is
Mike,
Virgil.
Fuck you, Mike Shaw.
Mike Jones. Who?
Mike Shaw. Isn't his name Mike Shaw?
Mike Jones.
So...
See, he's got it.
I don't listen to the raps. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, I mean, they started blowing up, and then they had to feud with each other. So it was the Wolfpack versus the NWO.
Yeah, because it just took everything over.
LWO was you know, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like an offshoot of it. It was just Eddie Guerrero.
The problem is they just kept dominating everything, and there was never a payoff.
Had
There
they
was never
ended
a
up
payoff.
doing what the original plan was, which was to make an NWO show and a WCW show, it might have went over a little bit better.
Maybe.
But even then, you've got 20, 30 fucking guys that are all sporting the NWO shit.
Well, but still, it was like half measures. Like everything he did was like a half step. Like they wanted to split the shows, but they never really did. And then there's like, oh well, we'll just split the NWO, and they never really did. And
you want to know how you kill the cool of NWO other than putting everybody in their dog?
Virgil, yeah,
Disco Inferno.
right.
You put Disco Inferno into the. I mean, even Conan is a better fucking fit than Disco Inferno.
Oh,
In fact,
Conan was
actually,
great. Conan was
awesome
fantastic.
for the NWO.
It was the only time I ever liked him, as long as he wasn't wrestling.
Well, you
Just
didn't
give him
like
a mic. Yeah.
You didn't like the Filthy Animals essay?
No, just give him a mic and get out of the way. I would say this about Conan: the stuff he's doing with Eddie Kingston right now. On
Oh, dude,
Impact
the LAX shit right now is
fucking
great.
amazing.
I will never shit on Conan's ability to rock a mic.
Dude, Eddie Kingston's promos are
Eddie
fire.
Kingston's just fire in general.
I need to get him on the show.
You do. I'm pissed that you haven't done that yet.
I know.
Like he's doing anything
It's
right
hard on the East Coast, bruh.
Bullshit.
It's 11 p.m.
It's okay. We'll do a
Getting
pre-tape. We'll do a pre-tape. All right, man. That's our show for tonight. That was fucking 10 through 6.
I know. And we barely got it in because we're hot.
Bro.
Next week, bro.
My 5 through 1 is gonna fuck. We're gonna fight. This may come to fisticuffs.
Oh, it's a good thing there's a table between us.
You know what we need to do is next week we need to have JB come in
Oh,
because we need
to referee.
We need him
That's
to
right.
referee in his fucking white pants too,
yes.
and his heel boots.
Wear the white pants, JB.
JB, we're booking you for next week. Don't book any paying gigs because you're gonna come and do our shit for free.
That's right.
All right. And real quick, just so that I can get it over, Luke got me a Bucks of Jericho, or is it Y2 Jackson t-shirt for Christmas.
I don't know.
I fucking love
It
it.
says Bucks of Jericho.
It also says, or
Is it Y2
or is
Jackson?
it Y2
Sweet.
Jackson?
That's fantastic. I love it.
which came from the elite, being the elite skit, which then transgressed into the Jericho Cruise, which I did not get to go on. I will be going on the next one.
Good for you.
Fuck yeah.
I'm never going on a cruise.
Nobody cares. You fucking lamb
I just
lover.
watched the shit on fucking fight.net or whatever it is.
I don't even think it was on
fight.tv.
there.
It was.
Was it on
Yeah,
there?
you can watch it right now.
No shit. The
Yeah.
Jericho Cruise, you can watch it.
Yeah, you can go watch
Nice.
the matches.
All right, let's go.
Fight TV. All right,
Sweet.
let's do it.
All right. We will see you guys next week only on kaoticradio.com and the YouTubes. Peace
No
out.
fucks given.
No, it's colorful this week. Colorful Cole Dawson. Ugh.